Palestinians and Israelis deserve equal measures of freedom, security, prosperity and dignity. Those are the latest words coming from the US president as he concludes his visit to the Holy Land this Friday. Joe Biden has been visiting a hospital in East Jerusalem and is now sitting down with the Palestinian president Mahmud Abbas in the West Bank city of Bethlehem after Thursday's talks with Israeli leaders. Now, before his Middle East tour takes him to Saudi Arabia later, Mr. Biden has put more US money on the table to help the Palestinian community and has reiterated his support for a two-state solution to end the decades-long conflict there. A little earlier here on France 24, I spoke to our Jerusalem correspondent Irris Makler, who's tracking Biden's final day in Israel for us, and she had this update.
There is that complaint. Washington says what it's trying to do is to come back from the nadir in relations that was what we saw between the Palestinians and the Trump administration when there was simply no contact. So they're trying to rebuild relations to bring the Palestinian issue back onto the radar, if you like, just back onto the map. So while the way they're trying to do that is with these funding announcements, but there isn't going to be a political discussion, and perhaps that's as much the fault of the locals as it is of Washington. You know, there isn't stable government on either side, really. Israelis have been voting almost too often and Palestinians not often enough. So they haven't voted for a new leader in something like 17 years. Israelis going to their fifth election in just over 3 years. To deliver a peace deal, you need a charismatic leader whom people will follow. You don't have that on either side. So while the Palestinians are complaining, Washington says we're doing our best to bring this issue back to the centre of things where it belongs.